everyone, how are you? I am Pari from Team TalentZ, and we're back with yet another session for you guys. And our session for today is about conflict management. We have with us Mr. Rupam Kumar Saha. He is a life coach helping thousands of people with their self-care practices and life problems with an experience in marketing. Let me just get him to join us and we'll start the session. Hello, Mr. Rupam, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am good. Thanks for asking. So I will jump right into the questions. The first thing that came into my mind today was life coach is not a very common profession in India, right? Like, when you ask most people, that's rarely their answer. So what really made you go after this?
Okay, thank you for asking that question. First of all, let me introduce about myself and then I will go to the question.
All right.
Uh,
Sure.
Myself, Rupam Kumar Saha. I am a professional of 14 years of experience into the corporate sector with couple of master's degree. And I have done almost all the courses which a L&D professional needs to be done. So, as you asked me, what is life coaching and why do you have chosen it? See, throughout my professional career, I have learned one thing that everyone, be it the CEO or be it the janitor, everyone suffers from stress. Everyone suffers from their personal losses. Everyone has a grievance. Everyone, some point of view was not appreciated, or probably could have done a lot of motivations or on the floor. I mean, arenas for them, and that is the reason those grievance takes birth, and those grievance slowly gradually develops to be a metaphor kind of thing or a bigger size. And the moment it grows bigger, the negativity takes place within ourselves, and those negativities doesn't allow us to perform, and we don't stay at the peak of our performance levels. Therein a life coach comes into a picture, wherein the person has himself gone through the similar situations, has understood it, has overcome it, and then knows the strategies or the tools to overcome it and thereby make one successful. So life coach is something wherein you are doing a lot of good things for the employees as well as to the society. You give them their good posters or lifestyle which they were thriving for, but due to some reasons which they also doesn't understand that why they were not thriving. So that is where a life coach comes into picture, and he or she shows the arena of hope to the client or the employees. So that is all about life coaching. Yes, it's a trending one. Might be as of now, India has not opened up her sleeve in terms of life coaching, but then yes, it will be the next big function in the near future ahead.
It is very much needed. Like, I think we have so
Yes.
much stress here that and we have such wrong ways of dealing with our problems that we definitely need more life coaches in India or everywhere.
Surely, yes, yes, everywhere.
So my question is that we've seen a lot of people who are highly qualified, really intelligent, book smart, I guess, but they have confidence issues because of which they don't do as well in interviews, or like you speak to them in text and it's great, but then you speak to them in person and you feel like, who am I speaking to? Which is why they
Uh,
cannot deal with situations in the corporate world or even get a job in the first place. What would be your advice to those people?
it's a common phenomena which happens for the employees or the students or these individuals who are going to the corporate level for the first time. It happened with me also. I mean, if I say about myself, I studied about in English medium schools. I was in boarding. I have studied all the necessary things to make myself a presentable professional. But when it came to interview, I couldn't speak myself, and thereby I couldn't prove myself. So it's a practice which one needs to do. It is just like any other skill or course or subject. If you're into engineering, medical, or any other profession, you practice a lot of other things. So this itself, presentation skills, interview skills, is also a part of your. It should be a part of your curriculum, because see, it will not come to you within a day or two. Never ever it happens to anyone that you can speak for the first time in a corporate interview in that gala way that people will appreciate it. So that happens very rarely. So it is again a matter of practice, as we all know that practice makes us perfect. So we have to practice this a lot. And I have seen that corporates we is doing these things at the last moment or the 11th hour. We should, I mean, the corporate should, the academics should do it from the first year itself. So because see, this is something which the individuals would be doing for the first time, and they have never experienced it in their lifetime. So when they're going for the first time, the questions could be of varied types. I mean, we can mug up 5 questions, 10 questions, 15 questions, but there are people who might ask you different questions also. So we were not aware of it. So at that time, we just need to be on our nerves. We have to control our nerves. If we are confident, if we have not getting nervous, then I'm sure you can deal it. So my simple methodology of dealing with it would be stay calm, drink water, arrive on time, take deep breaths before you enter the room, and if possible for a minute or so you remember about the most comedy movie which you have ever watched, so that when your nerves are down and you stay confident and there is a smile in your face which is visible. I think this will help a lot.
I think that was very simple but very helpful, and obviously it gives a personal touch that you have faced it yourself. So I think people will relate to
Yes.
it a lot more. Now let's jump
Yes.
into our topic. So to begin with, what would you say is how do you define conflict management?
Conflict management in the corporate sector is a normal thing. I mean, I'm not sounding astonishing, but it's a normal thing. It happens for the person who joins initially. If he or she has got some kind of good exposure, communicates well, and then there is an extroversion, and he or she is good in terms of product knowledge, then there will be a lot of eyebrows being raised. And all those eyebrows being when are raised, then it deals with a lot of negativities, and that is where a conflict comes into picture. So it's a normal thing. It is understandable. Being an HR, I understand that my employees will suffer from this because it is bound to happen. There would be competition coming up in the process, and with this competition, which is good for the organization, but then those negative things will also come up because people will try to pull you down. People will try to see the negative things out of yourself. Sometimes you might be right in your area, but then you have to express it in such a way that the other person should not get the pinch. So saying no itself is a huge challenge, and how to say no without saying no is a task which very few people can do it. So thereby, these are the things which happens in corporate life. It's a normal thing, but then we should know how to deal with it. If we don't know how to deal with it, we'll suffer, and we might have to leave the organization because of our own things that we have not dealt with it properly. So this is one thing which is very important, that we should know how to deal with it.
I think we lost you.
Yes, I think, yeah. uh, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Now I can hear you. I think
Okay, so
last
i
few
i
words.
was just, yes, I was just saying that uh, conflict management is a part and process, is a part of process of the competition in the organization, which would be there in every organization. It is there, but then how to deal with it is very important.
So you say that it is a part of the corporate world anyhow. Would you say it is like a positive part? Are there any advantages that, anything good that it brings?
The best thing about it would be it's a competition. Although if it is meant for positive competition, then it is good for the organizations. But my experience of 14 years says that it is not always good. Also, there are people who wants to drag you down because of XYZ things. So if it is always meant for competitions, then it's a good thing. If it is not for competition, just for the matter of power or egoness or something others, which is not good for the organizational point of view, then it's a bad thing. So HR and team line managers should be on the same line and understand that whether this is happening for the good cause or not. And there should be enough screening up process. There should be a communication wherein employee can reach out to the highest stakeholders without others knowing it. If even if there is a challenge coming up and he or she doesn't know, especially for the new joiners, or for the female employees who are suffering from the male counterparts for XYZ things. So these are the things which HR does it properly. But if there is a communication process wherein it stays as a secretive way, then it is much good for the organization. So that is one way you can deal with it.
Like there should be no hitch in going to an
Yes,
authority.
yes, yes.
I
Yes.
understand.
See, example, I think I should cite an example. Suppose I'm a female employee and I have been harassed by someone who is staying in their company for almost say 10, 15 years. And then I have done my MBA from say ISB Hyderabad and I have reached the same position. Now I'm a fresher for him, but he has got 15 years of experience and he's just one step ahead of me or maybe with the same designation. Now he has got every right that he will say that I have got the experience and I'm working here for so many years. Someone a kind of fresher has come up and she is throwing a lot of ideas which might not work in the corporate world, she doesn't know. So his point, if I am the team leader or I am the manager or probably I'm the head of the department, I will understand that his point of view is also equally correct. But then it doesn't make the other person who is a lady and has studied from ISB, which happens to be one of the best institution in terms of the business administration part in the country, is also correct. So both way we have to meditate. We have to meditate in between the both the persons and try to handle it, and then you can always solve the conflicts.
That makes sense. One thing you mentioned was sometimes even when you disagree, you have to understand how to say no, right? So
Yes, very
now I
good.
have a situation for you. So I'll tell you the situation. You tell me how to deal with it. All right.
Sure, sure.
So in this situation, there is something going on because of which you are disagreeing with your boss. How will you put your
Oh,
point forward? How will you deal with this situation?
that is a real tough question if you're into the professional world. I mean, in professional world, boss is, I mean, everything. So see again here, see, boss is right always, but then I happen to face couple of situation like this. See, subject matter expertise is with you. Suppose my head HR doesn't understand an L&D or coaching to the core as I know. So if there is one thing which come up with in terms of coaching, and I have these subject matter expertise, and I know this is good for the institution and for the employees, so I should say in such a way that the other person should understand that he is trying to make me convince that this is good for the organization. So my throw of words, my way of expressing it, my body language, my tone, everything should support me. It should not be opposite. Suppose I'm trying to tell in a negative, positive way, but my tone is of harsher in nature, or probably my body language is not supporting me. So all this should be on the same line. Then possibly yes, there are a few bosses who listens to you, but then maybe at the same instant he or she will not realize it. But if you go back to his or her chamber and then make him or her understand that what I was trying to convince you was that these other things which will happen if we do this, and these are the good things which will happen to the organization as well as to the employees. So please have a relook at your thought process and then let me know. I'm sure he or she will understand it. But then this has to be done in a very nicer way, because the moment it hurts his or her ego, and if you cannot control it, it will backfire. It will backfire in a very big way.
Of course. You have to be very diplomatic, very polite.
Very, very. Yes, absolutely. In
I
the corporate world, there is one word which is very trending, not these days, but it is always ego massaging. So you should know how to massage the ego of your seniors. I mean, it is not the physical things. It is something which has to do a lot of with lot of IQ level and thorough understanding of yourself, your tone, and the way you do it. So they should also come down to your step and realize it. Yes, this particular lady or the gentleman is trying to say something which can make a lot of good changes for the organization. So if he or she realize that, then your job is done.
I guess what you're trying to say is like if you say it in a way where you make the other person think that you have this mentality that you are right, then they'd obviously not open their mind towards you. But if you make them feel that okay, I understand where you're coming from and this is my point of view and I would like it if you can consider it, that is how they would
Yes.
listen to you.
Surely, surely. Because see, for them to say yes at the first instance, sometimes they would. It's a practice. I mean, if you go to the higher ladders of success, you don't say yes within a short span of time. You take your own time, sweet little time, and then you say yes. So it's just a kind of genre which every senior has gone through it. So then you have to understand that maybe in front of everyone, he or she is not trying to say yes. but then you should always knock him or her back, that that see, these are the things I was trying to tell you, and these are the benefits it will bring. It's a win-win situation for you, me, and the employees, and the organization will thrive only. So why not? If I'm wrong, please let me know. I'm always ready to correct myself. I think it becomes easier, very easy.
Well, I
But
think
then, as I said, a saying is very easy, but then replicating it on the floors, or actually it is quite different. So you have to, again, it's a matter of practice. You have to practice this a lot of times, and then it will happen.
it's easy to get overwhelmed when you're actually in the situation.
Yes, yes.
I think that was the the most understandable answer I could have gotten to that situation. I really appreciate that. I think I that was a great session. It was a pleasure for us to have you here. Thank you so much.
From my side also, I would say thank you so much for bringing me here. It was a nice opportunity for me to share my feelings and my experience. So hope this would do justice or help some kind in some way or the other to the audience, and they can take some good note out of it and practice it in their real lives. If they get the benefits out of it, I think our job is done. Thank you so much for bringing me here. It was nice talking to you. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ru. So, guys, I hope you all enjoyed that session just as much as I enjoyed it. And if you want to book a session with Mr. Rupam for yourself, then all you have to do is go to our website or our Instagram page, which will be mentioned below, and you can book a session through TalentZ. And don't forget to drop a like and give us a follow on our Instagram page. Thank you. See you next time.